Hi everyone, my name is Inez. I'm head of digital marketing communication at Boyum IT, and I'm here with my colleague Adam, senior channel manager and expert in product information management. Hi Adam.
Hello Inez, how are you?
Good, and you?
Very well, thank you, very well.
Thank you for your time today. Adam will talk about omnichannel distribution and the way the right technology can help companies in wholesale and distribution get the much needed consistency and integration of different touch points in the supply chain. Over to you, Adam.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining from. Thank you for taking the time to register for this webinar. We're going to be covering, as Inez says, what the future of omnichannel success looks like and how a product information management system can not only just enhance this procedure, but totally innovate your processes, your customer growth, and your customer's customer experience across the board. So really looking forward to showing you more. And of course, following this webinar, feel free to reach out to myself, Inez, or a member of the team. And if we can't answer the question, then we can point you in the right direction. So at Boyum, we are the experts in every step of the digital product journey, whether it's innovation, production, quality, logistics, or launch. Over 3 decades of experience in understanding what it truly takes to bring your products to life. Across all of these 3-letter acronyms we hear of every day now, whether it's ERP, CMS, WMS, and now PIM, understanding which of those 3-letter acronyms to plug into your ecosystem will not just better your and your company's day-to-day life, but it will give your company the upper hand in growth and expansion for the future. So we're going to talk a little bit more about obviously the challenges and successes and hopefully solutions when it comes to omnichannel distribution. But before we do jump into a high-level agenda, it's important to understand exactly what these challenges are. So regardless of the size of your business or your customer's business, these pain points constantly arise when we speak to industry leaders on a day-to-day basis, which I'm sure Inez will agree with, whether it's the need to keep an eye on numerous channels and marketplaces, suppliers, customers, industries, and even multiple territories. The bottom line question of whether a technology is going to deliver a return on investment, bring clarity to each of your department's specific remit, and the high-level direction of your business. It's about making sure that the technology that you're committing to, committing that time and effort to, so to speak, is going to be beneficial for years to come. So again, we'll go a little bit deeper into each of these challenges, but what I think is really important is just to give everyone an understanding of what we will cover from a chronological point of view. So I want to make sure each of these agenda topics are covered in enough depth, but also understand that we can only scratch the surface of possibility. From a PIM point of view, we're going to talk a little bit more about our supplier portal. And of course, we're going to talk about this wholesale and distribution solution and the future of what this may look like. So if you have any further questions, as I said before, please do reach out. I'm definitely not one of the cleverer people at Boyum, but we have lots of friends and colleagues within the business who have spent years and years on building Perfion and building the digital supply chain. So I'll put you in touch with them from a technical point of view, but any questions around commercials and marketing, me and Inez are more than happy to help. So I'll talk high level about what the future of wholesale and distribution may look like, how this can be accompanied by a PIM solution, a little more into our PIM solution, Perfion, and then talk more about the industry leading supplier portal and how all of the above can result in the right data, the right products, and the right experience every single time. Well, first of all, my name is Adam Sutton, as Inez said before, previously director at Perfion before we became part of the Boyum family. But apart from a change in job title, not much has changed in that time, really. My focus is on the growth, partnerships and delivery of Perfion in the UK and Ireland, working with trailblazing partners every single day, as well as our customers, colleagues, and other industry leaders. I constantly find myself learning more and more about how amazing the people of Boyum are. And with the likes of Netronic coming on board most recently, we continue to expand our portfolio with exciting solutions and seriously talented people.
And you're also a great communicator, so please follow Adam on LinkedIn.
Thank you very much. I'm trying, me and Inez, before the webinar, I said I'm going to have to speak quite slowly. Anyone who understands my accent will know that the northwest of Liverpool, people from there speak very quickly. So I'm trying to slow myself down and be a little bit more posh. So you are a wholesaler and or distributor, and you're looking to take the next step in your digital journey. What exactly does this look like? So here are some key pillars on how to succeed. Firstly, we look at data for personalization and why it matters. Of course, personalization drives engagements. When customers receive tailored content or recommendations, experiences, they're more likely to convert. And data allows businesses to understand customer preferences, purchase history, and what behaviors across all of these channels. Again, this sometimes relates to walking into a shop or going online or walking into a coffee shop, so to speak, and you've got someone who knows your order already, or you go into a shop and someone invites you in and asks what you're looking for, what you're interested in, what do you think could be something personalized to you. You feel a little bit special. And therefore, if your customers feel special, this doesn't just obviously make them want to come back, it makes them tell everyone about your company or your shop or whatever it may be, and hopefully start to spread the word on that personalization and the good feeling that you receive. The next step is probably a lot different to the likes of personalization, but it's about integrating those systems, ensuring a seamless flow of information across your channels, inventory, customer profiles, orders, communications. Customers expect consistency, and integration makes this possible. I speak of the holy trinity, so to speak: ERP, PIM, and ecom. Ecom, one more letter than these three-letter acronyms, but of course, having three systems that are purpose-built to do what they are built for doesn't just take the pressure off the people using them on a day-to-day basis, but it reduces the technical debt across the board, really. We've spoken to many customers and partners over the years who have had 6, 7, 8 systems, and you say to them, you can probably get that into 2 or 3, really, whether you are or aren't selling online, or whether you do or don't have an ERP system. There's so many multiple spreadsheets and files and images, and I'm sure you're thinking of ways in which you work at the moment, which may need a little bit of that innovation. Having integrated systems that all speak to each other just removes so many bottlenecks when it comes to growth. And the result of that is unified brand experience, accurate data, and of course, smoother operations. In terms of flexibility, well, it's all about ensuring that you're agile and adaptable. Customer behavior and market conditions can change very quickly. Brands that can pivot, whether it's launching a new channel, updating a return policy, tweaking some marketing, or even generating a brand new technical data sheet on the fly, something that Perfion is definitely known for. Flexibility supports that personalization, real-time changes, and of course the innovation in your customer service and experience, and empowers your business to meet the needs of customers. I think we talk all the time now about how the B2B space expects a B2C experience. Gone are the days really of going onto a B2B website, and I know we still see it, trade accounts that you have to log into, phone numbers that you have to call, you have to go here, there, and everywhere to get your products. But nowadays people want to log in, take 2 clicks, and they're purchasing something regardless of how much or how many. And of course, this results in increased agility, as mentioned, resilience to that market shift, and of course, strong customer trust. And finally, optimizing your fulfillment, fast, reliable delivery of information, consistency across the board, and a single source of truth, ensuring your teams are all singing off the proverbial hymn sheet. And the result of this, an organization that can grow organically and aggressively without having to iron out the creases later down the line.
And this is especially true for distributors because retailers, they might only focus on direct customer channels, but here we are talking about managing data from suppliers and from retailers as well. So it's a lot more complex, right?
100%. And I feel like, again, with this B2B, B2C shift, and as you say, and there's maybe more wholesalers and distributors, you have small, medium, large, black, white, grey when you're working in the fashion industry, a jumper, a t-shirt, a pair of pants. And yeah, of course, they're a couple of clicks away, something I need to probably slow down doing when you're online. But again, when it comes to this particular industry, you want a consistent experience and a consistent surfacing of that product everywhere. It's not just online and a website and you log in and you're away. We have print and digital content, marketplaces like Amazon, eBay. You have multiple different products for maybe multiple different industries, actually. And each of those products require a different description or a different translation or a different way in which they are surfaced. And having something like a PIM solution is only going to benefit that in the long run because it's that single source of truth, consistent across the board. And you haven't got people like us in sales and marketing running to people like some of our colleagues in IT saying, oh, can you help me with this and that? And I haven't, it's just all there ready to go. And it's foolproof. Not saying that we're fools in us, by the way.
Exactly.
So I just mentioned the PIM solution and how that can basically bring everyone's day-to-day remit into one place. And how does it all tie into a product information management solution? Well, as mentioned at the start of the webinar, I'd be here all day outlining the many specific features and functionalities, but let me and Inez give you a real helicopter view. Again, as mentioned, by implementing a PIM solution, you personalize data, whether it's a customer-specific price list or the delivery of descriptions, translations, images. You integrate your systems, but not just, again, an ERP and an e-commerce, but an example being the likes of Adobe InDesign for the production of print and digital content. I tell this story all the time and spoke at a conference last year, actually, talking about people being employed at companies to do what they're employed for. And we've worked with so many amazing designers in the past that are running around trying to find product data, and that's not necessarily what they went to university to study. However, you have a brand which is so focused on how you look and how you feel and how your customers experience it, and you have so many talented people that are building these amazing bits of content. If you've got an integration from your PIM into Adobe InDesign, you click a button and it drops the latest and greatest product data in, so you can be safe in the knowledge that that's the best version, and your designers can be safe in the knowledge that they're turning up for work to do some designing, really. You have a flexible system, of course, with automation and workflows, role-based access, translation, digital asset management, AI, ChatGPT. Basically, you're utilizing software to get the best out of every single department within your company. And finally, the presentation of your products wherever and whenever and however you want. If you want your products consistently surfaced around the world, across all channels, then a PIM can definitely do that. And again, it's so important to understand that you'll be maybe walking down the wrong road at the moment, saying we haven't got the time and effort and resource to be looking at a solution like this. But the biggest response I get when people implement Perfion is that I can't believe we didn't do this sooner. And again, it comes down to the fact that, of course, you need to put the time and the resource towards a solution like this. But this is going to allow you to grow. This is going to allow all of your departments to work together and be a little bit more unified when it comes to, again, the expansion of your company.
Yes, the return on investment can be huge. And also, if you choose the right PIM, the right user-friendly system, it's going to be great for user adoption as well and make everything easier for everyone.
Definitely. And again, there's there's so many PIM solutions out there, and we would actively want all of our prospects and partners to go and look at the other PIM solutions to see what fits them. But I really do believe when it comes to the distribution and wholesale space, there's some slight nuances that Perfion has that cannot be competed with. And again, I may have mentioned them throughout this webinar, but it's just about understanding that what we do different in this industry and in this space can really affect, and again, slight features and functionalities, I say slight, but very well developed features and functionalities that people don't know exist can go, oh my God, I've been spending hours and weeks and months on doing this, and I can do it at the click of a button. And that is so powerful in a number of ways, as you say, and there's not just return on investment, but return on resource and return on everyone's time, really.
Couldn't agree more.
So I've spoken about PIM from a high level point of view, but let's talk about us. Let's talk about Perfion, and as I say, what specifically we can do well for you and your industry. So we're a standard solution, a low code, no code, fully integrated platform with 25 years of development. I think it's over 25 years now. I've been here for a lot less than that, but I feel like I've been here for a lot longer. If you work with the Dynamics suite, we'll integrate into that. If you work with SAP, count us in. What about Magento, Sana, BigCommerce, Expologics, Shopify, Shopware, whatever shop you want to, we'll be there. We are, as I said, a fully integrated, API-driven PIM solution that has worked with ERP systems built in someone's shed 50 years ago. And I get that sometimes opening a shiny new open source platform that takes 300 days to get up and running might sound attractive to big companies with a lot of budget, but don't we just want something that works and works now? And that's what Perfion is. We work with marketing teams who have a passion for producing amazing content that can be seen around the globe with amazing imagery and descriptions, SEO, and just a real consistency. We work with IT teams who want to see consistency from a technical standpoint, systems that communicate with each other, reduce that duplicated effort, and less time answering questions from people in marketing and sales. And product teams who want that one-stop shop for all. C-level departments also who need an overview of performance, transformation, and of course, a system that gives back, and many more. Perfion does this in every continent, with startups to huge enterprise organizations. We are led by our customers and partners. If there's something going on in the world that needs looking at and needs implementing into our PIM solution, we are there. We've got an amazing development team, commercial team, and of course, partner network who say, this is the next bit of kit that you need to be putting into Perfion. Then of course, we'll make sure that we're on hand to do so. I mentioned the consistent development. It's, well, one of our latest, the Perfion Supplier Portal. I feel like this is a really good place to almost stop and take stock of what we've spoken about. And of course, we are rattling through in terms of information, and I'm sure you can go back and have a look at some of the slides and listen to the webinar. But for me, the Perfion Supplier Portal is a huge step in your specific industry. For wholesalers and distributors who are working with many suppliers around the world, having something like this, 10 conversations I'll have, 10 responses I'll get is, oh my, this is something that we are doing but aren't doing in the right way. And this is constantly causing a breakdown in communication, constantly causing more effort and work. And we heard those pain points and headaches, and we built the Perfion Supplier Portal. It's an extension of Perfion, specifically designed for vendors and suppliers to upload and maintain their own product data, manage digital assets, images, manuals, spec sheets, videos, whatever that may be, enter or update specifications and prices and certifications, and collaborate on product life cycle processes. And how it works is something like you can see here. Suppliers get a login, they get access to the portal, typically invited by you as a company using Perfion. Permissions can be controlled per supplier, so what products they can edit or see or export. Suppliers then input or upload the likes of product titles and descriptions, technical specifications, prices, availability, images, data sheets, whatever it may be. This can be done manually via file upload, depending on of course, their setup. Perfion then automatically validates the data against your predefined rules, so required fields, formats. If a SKU number or EAN number is required to have 13 digits and it has 12, then it'll pass that information back to your supplier and say, no, we need it to be correct. Once approved, the supplier provided data is seamlessly integrated into your company's PIM system, and that can then be published to websites, e-commerce platforms, print catalogues, and much, much more. And then the supplier can return to the portal anytime to update their product information. The likes of version control and change history are supported. And again, it's just extending that olive branch to, well, we have this amazing PIM system, which is standardizing all of our processes. Why don't we give our suppliers the ability to do so? And again, make sure that we're all pulling in the right direction.
It's an amazing way for suppliers to even enrich the existing data.
Again, it comes down to the fact that we are often working in ways that are just what we know and what we've known for a long period of time, really. But I do feel like the supplier portal is a conversation which it's not a nice to have. It's something that is really going to allow people to better the ways that they work. And again, it's almost build a better relationship with their suppliers, really. If you've got the ability to go and do something quicker and better and more standardized, you're probably going to do it more often. And again, we have customers who say, well, we've got really big suppliers who don't really want to log into a supplier portal. Well, that's where it comes to getting a file and ingest it into Perfion. But actually, you've got maybe other suppliers who are really keen to work with you and they want to be in and around these systems, and you can give them that personalized feel and personalized portal for them to do so. So Perfion automatically validates the data against the predefined rules, as we spoke of before. It can be flagged for review or approval by your company's internal team. And once approved, the supplier provided data seamlessly integrates into Perfion and can be published across the board: websites, e-commerce, print catalogues, marketplaces. We all know how tedious it is to ask for suppliers to ingest their product data. It sometimes causes a lot more work if you're having to go back and forth, emails, communication breakdown, trying to get the latest product catalog or amount of products into the faces of your customers, and you're waiting on a supplier to do so. This hopefully stops that and will allow that process to be a lot more smoother. And again, time to market being reduced is only going to have one effect, really, and that's your customers getting your products quicker than anyone else. And it totally eradicates all of these issues, standardizes the enrichment, the digestion of the product information, and make sure that whatever you're dealing with must be fit to your specific guidelines.
It's really a game changer and so recent that it's quite exciting.
Definitely, and I'm sure many people who are listening to this will have heard, or hopefully have heard of, Jesper, who's one of our gurus in the Perfion space. And after this webinar, if you haven't had a conversation with Jesper about the supplier portal, then I really do feel like you need to do so, because he's the person who's built this from the ground up, worked with our customers and partners and prospects, and put his ears to the streets almost of what's going on, and try to make sure that we are building a solution. But I don't know anyone who's doing this like we are, really, and that's really exciting for all of our customers around the world.
It really fits the product value chain strategy.
100%. And if you want more information on the supplier portal and to see a full demonstration, then just let us know and we'll put you in touch with the right people. So finally, what does all of this result in? Today's world is in an instant, isn't it? And as we've said, the B2B buyer craves the experience of the B2C purchaser. It's the same as shopping in person or shopping online. We are only 2 clicks away from purchase. And with a PIM solution, you can offer this experience without having to do much more than you already are. In fact, I think you probably have to do less. Again, as I said, an objection I get all the time is about resource. I haven't got the resource to do this, or we need to make sure that we're in the right place from our other systems, and that's great. But if you look at an ERP upgrade, or you look at a new e-commerce system, they're filled with product data, and a lot of the time they're filled with the wrong product data. If you can find that one single source of truth to standardize your product data, then the upgrade or the implementation of these new systems elsewhere is just going to be so much more of a smoother process, really. And the key to success is consistency, a consistent delivery of branding, messaging, communication, experience, and a consistent delivery of product. A single source of truth really is the nucleus for that consistency and will allow you to reach places that you thought weren't possible. And again, it brings these siloed departments and siloed data into one, again, place, single source of truth, and it's trusted. There's no worrying now of whether you're printing a catalogue that's taken you 3 or 4 months to produce and there's errors or there's incomplete or there's out of date information. You're not just wasting time and effort there, you're wasting paper. And when it comes to sustainability and when it comes to the future of digital and how we can make sure that we're doing it in the right way, having a system that gives you the safety in the knowledge that you are doing it in the right way is going to have so many effects elsewhere. But again, we've only scratched the surface, and understanding how omni-channel distribution in the future and how what that looks like is key. We have 2 major updates a year delivered out of the box to our customers. So we're staying on top of that, on top of the future and what's next. We cater to all in terms of wholesale and distribution. I really do feel like it is a forte of ours, whether that's AI that's automatically generating a fully personalized wine list for some of our wine and spirit distributors, or maybe understanding a workflow on how to define the different tops, legs and material of a new kitchen, bathroom wholesalers product range, or the Supplier Portal, a one-of-a-kind catering to the needs of thousands, essentially managed by one person if you want it to be. So being flexible, adaptive, and utilizing these systems on offer will set you up for years and years to come. And the future of omnichannel distribution, we believe, to be a multitude of places and areas and a multitude of different directions. But if you've got systems that can help you push in those directions and make sure everyone is on a day-to-day basis understanding their specific remits, but understanding the future of your company from a high level, then why wouldn't you utilize these systems? So thank you very much for listening. I've really enjoyed spending time with yourself, Inez, and telling you a little bit more about how we feel the future of omnichannel and what that success looks like for distributors, wholesalers, and many, many more. And as mentioned, any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. You can see my email address there. As Inez said before, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. And of course, if you want to hear some of the amazing technical details and delve into maybe more of your specific requirements, pain points, and hopefully some solutions, then of course, reach out and we'll put you in the right place. But best wishes. Thank you very much and hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you all for joining. And yeah, let us help you grow your business. See you soon.